Good evening, fellow gamers. Welcome to another edition of Diablo Gaming. Today we're taking a look at a Demon Hunter build that I've been using to farm some Inferno. And just to start off, saying it right from the bat, this is not about survivability, this is not about killing the crap out of everything. Actually, it is about killing the crap out of everything. But I'm using pure brute force to beat the crap out of everything. I have 52,000 DPS with my current character with Sharpshooter maxed out. Sharpshooter gives 3% crit chance every 1 second. And I have about 26,000 DPS without maxed out Sharpshooter. So this build is entirely based on high DPS to completely decimate your opponents. And let's just check out the skill build. So to start out, if you guys do not already know, you'll want to have elective mode enabled. So down here under options and gameplay, you'll want to turn on elective mode so you can set any of your skills to whatever way you want. So for left clicking, I have Hungering Arrow with the Cinder Arrow rune. That'll be my main bread and butter hatred generator. And Cinder Arrow, I prefer that a lot more than all the other runes, solely due to the fact that I can hit an enemy and kite for a little bit, and it'll keep dealing damage while I'm not hitting them. So my main DPS hatred spender would be Elemental Arrow with the Nether Tentacles rune. That would be... It's a slow projectile, but it gets the job done, and it also heals you. So it could be used for a linear AoE. Anything that gets caught in that, about a few yards out will actually take the damage from the shot itself. And then 3% of the damage dealt is heal. So the more DPS you deal, and the more sheer damage that you have will heal you for more. And that is a very, very good thing in Inferno when you get hit for half your health and you need to heal up and there's no health clubs nearby and potions are on cooldown. So if you're going to be fighting, your main focus is going to be taking down champions and rare mobs. So we're going to have Marked for Death, so you can focus one down, and every time you hit that target, you'll get 3 additional hatred with the Mortal Enemy rune. That is pretty sweet. That's 12% additional damage. That's a given that you'll want that. And then the 3 hatred per hit is just icing on the cake. If you don't want the additional hatred, I would say heal for 1% of the damage dealt. But if you're going to have to be running around kiting and stuff, it's probably not going to be that noticeable. 1% damage dealt being healed back to you. So I also have Smokescreen as a get the hell out of there button. So if you start getting focused, you can just hit that. If you see that a frozen enemy is about to freeze you, then you can just hit that, and that'll make you completely immune to all damage and snares and roots and all that. You can do the same with an arcane orb that is about to come and obliterate you. Just hit that and run through it. And I have the increase duration to 1.5 seconds. Used to be 3 seconds, but I got nerfed pretty bad. Then I have a companion, and out of all the companions, I much prefer the bat. Wolf Companion is nice if you want some additional damage, but that only lasts 25 seconds. I like the bat because that gives 3 additional hatred per second, as well as the 64% weapon damage whenever he attacks. If you're just farming, I would probably say get the Ferret for additional gold, and they still deal the normal damage as well. So my main AoE would be the multi-shot with fire at will. I was using full broadside, but that additional damage is not worth having half the cost. So I can attack twice, and that'll deal more damage than full broadside, one attack. And that only costs 20 to spam the crap out of it. And then passives, Sharpshooter. I got Sharpshooter, Steady Aim, and Archery. Archery would give you pretty much additional damage for whatever weapons you're using. I'm using a bow, so I get 15% increased damage. Everybody loves more damage. And then Steady Aim, when there's no enemies within 10 yards, all of my damage is increased by 20%. And Sharpshooter, I already said, every 1 second I do not crit, I gain a 3% crit chance. So that is why I have the 52,000 DPS here. since my crit chance is 100% right now. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this build helps you out. It's all based on pure damage, so it's if you're having difficulties killing enemies not fast enough, if that makes any sense, then I would probably suggest swapping out smokescreen with caltrops with the snare. I can't even remember what it's called. Where is it? Yep, torturous ground. The 80% snare is okay, but caltrops only cost 6 discipline, so if you can just spam a whole line of those, every enemy that gets stuck in there for the initial traps being sprung will be immobilized for 2 seconds. So that probably would be better than having smokescreen. And the follower that I use is the Templar. This is the build that I have. I obviously don't have very good items for him because I really didn't care so much. But for building up a follower, you always want to build their main stat, which should be pretty obvious. It'll be Templar will want to build Strength, Scoundrel will want to build Dexterity, and Enchantress wants to build Intelligence. For every 1 point of that stat is multiplied by 2.5 for the follower. So let's say you have a spear right here, the 153 DPS. A spear with 120 DPS but with 80 strength would be a lot better for a Templar, because it may have less DPS, but that strength multiplier for your follower is going to be a lot higher. So with the Templar, you'll want to mainly be stacking the strength or vitality, whichever you want. And I believe 9% of all magic and gold find on your follower is transferred to you. So there you go. If you're farming any chests or anything, stack up some MF on your follower, and 9% of their total will be given to you. And hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.
A mighty adversary is before us.
My hatred is too low.